Good morning, Soul Family. Here we are. I'm watching two crows dive bomb each other. Isn't that interesting? Even they fight, right? We all have different difficulties. They're the same, right? They're not fighting against a predator. One lives in that palm tree, and it's dive bombing. Now, you know what? It keeps dive bombing that palm tree. So that's making me wonder if my osprey or my red hawk is sitting in that palm tree. Because there's a reason. There were two crows going at it. So I thought, squabbles in paradise, right? Squabbles within the family. I'll have to keep on the vigilant because that's what the osprey says, right? Keep on the alert. There's important information pending. And we always do watch the osprey going in that direction, right? He always goes towards the water, like to the ocean. This is the desert. This is the water. And right now in the morning, you know, it all starts out kind of like this. And then later on, the fog lifts. It's kind of like us as we wake up in the morning, right? Our head's a little foggy. And then we awaken. Same thing with our spiritual awakening. We don't awaken all of a sudden and then we're there, right? We awaken and there's little pockets of blue that I start to get it. Oh, yeah, right? And then it clears up. And some days everything seems really, really clear. That's a cormorant flying right there. Cormorant is very much like the osprey. They dive down deep as well, and they come up out of their emotional waters. However, they're the ones that often people will put a ring around their neck and cause them to fish for them, and they're not allowed to keep their food. So the cormorant is about, yes, you will be able to dive down deep under your emotional waters, but don't allow anybody to hold you prisoner and work for them and not allow you to keep for yourself, right? So I'm talking about awakening with the fog lifting like this because we go through this many, many times in our lives. It doesn't just happen one time. We reawaken like an onion, layer after layer after layer. So don't ever think that it's going to be done. We're going to be done because we're never done. You don't want to be done. We want to constantly be learning and reaching and moving forward, right? I'm going to continue this conversation, but first I'm going to give you something to choose from. It's always a struggle for me. Oh, I guess we're choosing that. We're going to choose wind chimes. Okay, so this was... Where did I get this wind chime? I was going to say to you, it doesn't work very well, but it does. I guess it just chooses when to work, right? So that's another message. You know what? Sometimes a situation doesn't work for us, but it doesn't mean that it's permanent. It just isn't working right now. That's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. So this one's really important. And I'm looking here at the little piece of stained glass, and it's broken. This little piece of metal has broken. So I'm going to have to find out how... I'm going to have to find how to do this myself to repair little things like that, because I would love to do stained glass. I've always said that. When I have my traveling bus, I guess I'm going to have one, right? Or my little traveling home, I want stained glass. Also in the little cottage that I have, I want old stained glass panels, reclaimed ones, and so I'll have to be able to fix it, right? So I have to learn how to do this. I'll talk about this. This is a very special one for me. This one represents Alexa. Oh, I get emotional thinking about this. Alexa, this is you. Look how beautiful you are. And look how delicate. And sometimes we need to do delicate repair work. But when we do, we make beautiful music. So this is the first one. Look at the little hearts that are all around. I never noticed that. I got this at I think I got this in, I'm not sure if I got it at a thrift store. I'm not quite certain if I got it here in California or in Sedona. So there's one. We'll definitely choose my happy Buddha because this is my twin. I hope he's honored that I call him my happy Buddha. He's a peaceful Buddha and he makes me happy. He got damaged by the beating sun beating down on him. So he was moved to a location where he's safer. I love him. I love that sound, that natural, earthy sound. And then there's this one. This my best friend sent me for my birthday this year. My best friend Diane, she owns an antique store, and somebody in the antique store has these beautiful pieces. Isn't it gorgeous? It's one of my absolute most favorite pieces. Look colors are glorious. It's the ocean for the mermaid, right? So that's another. We'll definitely have to do my mom. This was my mother's. My mother always had the most beautiful things. Always. She deserved that. She believed she deserved it, and she did. And look at here. This is kind of what we're looking at right now. This is a message to me. See that beautiful star bursting through the clouds? That represents us, but to me that represents my twin. It also represents my mother. It also represents our following our true north. You stay following your true north, whatever your soul's path is. Even through the storms of your life, you keep your eyes on your true north and you'll be in the right direction. It's kind of like where we're at right now, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do one more. Boy, that one's beautiful. My friend Brian gave me that. He gave me this one too. It's got little messages on it. Our family. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. That's our family. That's my soul family. This is a family that adopted me, that I will hold on to forever. This is my mama, Sherry, and Papa Terry's nephew, Brian. My Uncle Phil's nephew as well. Family, soul family. So, since Brian gave me both of these and their family, my daughter gave me this. She's my family. These are like leaves on the tree. I've got to talk about the leaves too. So we're going to take the family as one. Right? Look how different we are, but look how beautiful we all are too, right? And there's rust on a lot of this. It's been weathered, it's been outside, but it's because I want to be able to see it. You know, you don't want to put your favorite things away. You want to enjoy them. My best friend sent me this too. Okay, so the family. I've got to try and remember the leaves, about the leaves. I saw this in a dream last night. My mom's. The angel. We'll call this the angel. The Starburst Angel. It's Gabriel, the messenger. See her with her trumpet heralding a message? So the family, the Starburst Angel, the ocean, my happy Buddha, my peaceful Buddha, and Alexa. Okay, so now I'm going to start. I got several emails this morning, messages from people, and I was given by Spirit the other day, you're going to receive an apology. It's going to be kind of like not a straight out apology, but you'll know that that's what's meant by it, and the gesture is sincere. So I thought, okay, and remember I told you guys, when do our messages apply? They apply now. They don't apply in 6 months. They apply right now, like within the next hours or a few days. Sometimes you'll get something a little later, but it's generally right away. If it's a broader message, of course, it spans time. But if it's something like that, it'll be very, very short. So I did receive that message, and it was from someone that I love very much. And it was a soul family member. And this person was like a little sister to me. And they had issues with alcohol, which brought out narcissistic behavior, and it was very, very toxic. And there was, you know, when you're under the influence of anything, any substance, you're not yourself. You do things that you wouldn't normally do. This person had had a lot of really awful things happen in their life, and that's how they coped. And it takes a very long time. I know I have alcoholism in my family. Very, very long time for people to want to even admit that there's an issue. You can't tell them. They're not able to see it until they're ready to see it on their own. And we try and we try and we deal with them, and, you know, horrible things are said, things are done, and it's very frustrating. But we don't ever want to give up on the ones we love. But sometimes we have to cut them out of our lives. Sometimes the energy is so toxic that it's in our highest good to pull away. We never take away our love. You never give up on the people that you love. But you have to take care of yourself. And it was heartbreaking for me. It happened again and again, and finally I had to stop it. and I cut this person out of my life. I tried to talk to them, and it didn't work. And a very, very long time went by, and in between, I would say halfway between the year, I got a couple of messages, you know, and I responded, but I kept it at a distance. I wasn't allowing it back into my life because I knew nothing had changed. But I received the apology, the little one that was kind of like a half kind of attempt at something, and then this morning another, and it was much more in depth. And the person told me, you know, I've been through my jail time, and I've learned a lot, and it was very sincere. I know that it's sincere. I know that it's sincere even when I was given the same messages before. You know, people say, oh yeah, they always say they're sorry, and that's what I said to this person. Actions speak louder than words. Words don't mean anything after a while. After a while, you need to see proof, you know, and this needs to stop. No, you can't drink. No, you can't. You're an alcoholic, and you have to admit that. And then you need to take the steps. So this person says that they did. I'm not there to see it, but I'm hoping that that's the truth. And I said, I hope you have stopped drinking. The person said, I you know, basically, I wish that I could. I'm sorry for everything that I've done, and that I've lost you in my life, and I realize how important you are. And I said, and I hope we can move past it. And I said, I've already moved on. And I'm sure they thought, well, I've moved on, right? I said, I've already moved on. I never stopped. I don't hate you. I love you. I never stopped loving you. I still love you. And I hope that you have understood that you can't drink. I understand the circumstances and what you've been through in your life. And I know that in your family you have that extremely toxic situation. It makes it very difficult. That's what makes you want to reach for that comfort. But you can't do that. It's hurting yourself, and you need to choose to get up and move past it and change your life. And the person said, I understood that after I had not been drinking for a while. Now, no one is ever going to be perfect because you don't recover from alcoholism. You are an addict. You're dry, you're sober, and there can be times that you'll slip. But hopefully, the actual admitting and acknowledgement that, yes, this is my issue, and being around people and taking yourself out of the toxic energy. Like, say if you've got a family member that's very toxic and that's your button, you need to keep yourself at a distance. And I said to the person, I've never stopped loving you, but the situation was very toxic, and I'm a very empathic person, and I need to protect myself. It's bad for my energy. And they said they understood that. They knew that. And so this is dedicated to the fine repair work that's necessary. We're all a little bit broken. We all have things in our lives, right? We all have things. There's a crack here too. But the light goes through that, and it's just as beautiful. I can repair this. I have to watch this, right? I have to watch this relationship. I have to be very careful. When Spirit said your greatest addiction is seeking you out, the addiction is for an empathic person to forgive and allow narcissistic behavior back into their lives. That is an addiction for us. So I have to be careful, and I have to watch it, because this is barely hanging on. There is so much love. This is turquoise. This is the color of this is my soul color. And this is my soul family member. Turquoise and purple, which is spiritual. We have a spiritual connection, and I love this person. This person is very, very connected and very enlightened. And just because we're an enlightened being doesn't mean we don't have imperfections and we don't have challenges. It's like the clouds, right? Those are the clouds that we have to deal with in our life. But we can break past them, and we can burn through it. It's just one more step in our ascension. Just like here, this very earthy, natural, beautiful, peaceful one taught me so much, but felt like he went back to sleep. Same kind of issues. Does that mean that this person is bad for my life? This is my twin. I love this one. This person's dealing with their own things too. This person was kept in my heart in a safe place in the corner right underneath where the Victory Sparrow was. Remember I said, are you making your home in the corner of my gutter? We all have a gutter, right? That's how we learn how to filter away. That protects all of the emotion from falling down on us. It teaches it where to travel and release. And then we go to the ocean. So last night, this is going to connect with the family, with the leaves. I talked about how, and they talk about the people in your life that are like leaves. They're meant to be, these are deciduous leaves. These fall off the trees. This is an aspen leaf. I don't know. This is a eucalyptus leaf. They stay. These are silver. Silver is what purifies our water. So these ones stay. But these ones, these look like birch leaves, aspen leaves. They will fall off the tree. So you have people that come into your life that are like a leaf. They're meant to be there for a season, for a time, for a reason. But they will eventually fall off and blow away. They don't stay in your life forever. But you've got these ones. These ones. They will be there. And you've got, but they're still leaves, right? They kind of blow around in the wind. These ones stick around, but they kind of blow around. You know what I mean? And then you've got the branches of the trees. Now, we can't use a palm tree as an example because they pretty much have just a stalk and then it's like a frond, so it's different. So we look at this tree over here, or these are bushes. So let me find a tree. These trees here, they've got branches that go out. And they say they're going to be there for you. And you can count on me. And you go out onto that branch, and then the branch breaks off. And you think, wow, thanks a lot. I thought I could count on you. You said you'd be there for me, and you let me down, and I fell. Those are the ones that you have to be careful about. Those are the ones you have to watch. But then there's the roots, the people that are the roots. And they're the reason that holds the tree up. And they're there for the long haul. And those are the ones you want to hold on to. So last night in my dream, I was with, it's interesting because my twin is shown to me as my son. My twin's father is also shown to me as my son. They have the similar personalities. And I was with, I could see my twin's father, and I could see this girl, and she was, I called her Amanda Johnstone. Amanda Johnstone was my son's best friend. He didn't marry her, but it was his best friend. They grew up together as kids. She was an awesome person. They were both Jehovah's Witnesses. So this is a person who's a religious person, a nice person. She's real natural, kind of a hippie. I liked her a lot. They weren't married, and they never did get married. We all thought that they would. They were so amazing together, but they weren't meant to be together that way. So she was there with me. And I said, look, now remember yesterday when I talked about the osprey flying? And I said, oh, look, and I pointed out. So here I am in my dream, and I'm watching, and I'm pointing out, and I see a little house down by the water. But it wasn't water at that time, it was just open. And I was pointing to the sky. And I said, look at them. Look how beautiful that is. Because that's what I was saying. Because in my dreams, they kind of like morph together a few things, right? Look how beautiful they are. And I was watching leaves fall. And I started to cry. And I said, soon they'll be gone. And I said, can we go to the beach? They'd be so beautiful to see in Carlsbad right now. Because remember I said the osprey and the hawk, they flew together over to the ocean. The greatest body of water, the conductor of energy. And Amanda said to me, yes, we can go there. And the man, I guess it's the father, said, we have that here. He didn't want them to leave. He didn't want whoever it was that's going to leave. We have that here. And I said, but the view at the coast is going to be so much clearer. It'll be so much more beautiful. So it felt like someone was leaving. They weren't meant to be together forever. They were friends. They meant a lot, but they were leaves that were blowing in the wind. And that time was going to end. And then there are family members that we struggle with. They're going to stick around. They're always going to be in our family. They're our family. But they kind of blow around, right? So what do you do with that? You love them, right? They're always there, but it's not solid like the roots. You actually will have soul family that will be stronger, right? But the message is the same. Our family. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. Family. It's family. Whether it's soul family or real family, birth family, it's family. So what you do is you reach for the moon, and you know you stick around the stars, and that there's going to be difficult times, challenges, but there's going to be a brightness. If we follow our true north, which is what would love say, what would love do that. That is the beautiful music that we make together. And then we call upon our ascended masters and we ask for help with this situation, whatever it is. We speak our truth. We come from a place of love. Truth is blue. Green is love and healing. And we ask for love and healing in the situation. And look how quickly the clouds burn away, the fog burns away. If we listen to the guidance that we get, right? But what was interesting for me and what was so nice for me was another one of the messages I got this morning was, I'm having a really hard time. I've been going through all of this, and I said, we all are. All of us. The person said, thank you so much for being in my life. You've taught me so much. And I said, we all have challenges. We all are struggling. I am too. There are people in my life that I love so much that aren't with me. Ones that I have to walk away from. In my heart, I pray that it's only temporary, but I don't know, right? We all struggle. And I said, don't think you're ever going to get to the place where you're all finished, because you're not. We just have to rely on one another and be grateful for what we have in front of us. But I will tell you, it's hard for me. When I'm shown that things are coming, but I don't see evidence of it. But then I thought, you know what? I may not see evidence of what I'm hoping in my heart for, even though I'm shown it's happening. But I am shown other evidence. Like the fact that you're going to receive an apology within the next couple of days. First, it's going to be not much of an apology. You're going to know that that's what it means. But then you need to know, and the part that was really wonderful for me to hear was, it's sincere. Of course it's sincere. Even if it happens again, it is sincere because there's love there. So what does that do? That shows me that if that message I got, I was given that message and there it was. It happened right away. So that gives me hope. And we have to hold on to that. We have to trust. We have to believe what Spirit's showing us. And when we get little things like that, which aren't so little, that was a big deal for me. It was very painful. Something that I tried. I wanted to reach out to this person many, many times. And I held myself back because I knew they needed to know I meant business. They needed to know, you know what, you could lose somebody very, very important. You need to change. You need to do something. You need to do this, and I can't do it for you. I could sit there and talk till I'm blue in the face. It's not going to change anything. Sometimes people have to lose someone that matters to them. It's called tough love. But it happened. And what I was shown was going to happen occurred right away. So that's proof that what we're being shown is the truth. Why would Spirit tell me one thing and then give me something else and lie about it? Now, you have to understand. I'm hoping for something specific in my heart, and I'm hoping for it from somebody specific. When Spirit says this is coming, we all want to jump to the one thing that we want the most, right? But we have to allow Spirit to decide what it is. It's going to happen. We have to keep it broad. We have to understand that it may not be what you're thinking of. There may be something else. Doesn't mean that what you're hoping for isn't going to come. It just means right now this is happening. But it's also a sign, because if it's something that's a mirror of another situation, it's a sign that that energy is there. Right now I'm burning Egyptian musk. This was the incense that I bought when I was up in Boulder Creek, and I said I couldn't crack it until I came home because this was for my twin and I. This is about sensuality, and that's only for one person. Somebody asked me last night for my little video that I put out when I was walking. I sent a little video out. It said, you know, what are you grateful for today? Because I found a little plumeria branch with a flower on it. And I said, plumeria, it's the most amazing smell. I would definitely like plumeria in my wedding bouquet. And I said, yes, I will. I do plan on marrying again one day, the love of my life. And the person said, are you married? And I said, no, I wouldn't have said I plan on it if I was. But I make it clear where my heart is. So I burn this and I share it with you. It's love and sensuality. It smells amazing. Okay, so let's start our reading. I was shown that we were going to work with, I guess there's a message from the Faerytale Oracle. There's also a message from the vampires. And so we're going to work with that deck, those two decks, as well as the Oracle of Shadows and Light and the Shapeshifters and the little messenger cards. But we're going to start our reading with our beautiful singing bell. I love that. So for those who chose Alexa's wind chime, I have to choose them all because they all matter to me. The ones I will choose, oh my gosh, I don't know, they all matter to me. It's hard for me. Okay, so at 27 minutes and 14 seconds, Butterflies in Gloom. I keep getting little flashes out of the corner of my eye. Remember when we were going to get flashes out of the corner of our eye? We were getting signs that our kitsune was near. I keep getting that. So Butterflies in Gloom. This, you see this butterfly girl. She's kind of sickly looking. Every color, the color is like a, every time I see this I think of mold. It's that kind of a, her hair is grayish, her skin looks grayish. Her dress is kind of moldy color, mildew color, everything. And it talks about having been through it, or possibly still being in this sad place in your life. You may have, she's literally adopted the energy. She's just decided that this is her life, and this is how she's going to live. She's making the best of it. And she's covered herself in a moldy dress, moldy wings. She's got sadness. She's lost sight of what she has that's good in her life, and she's just pretty much cloaking herself in her sadness. She's begun to feel sorry for herself. She's possibly blaming other people, constantly remunerating and going over and over, why is this happening to me? Why has this happened? Not recognizing that there are lessons, that there are cycles, that there are themes in our life, that when we remunerate on the past and we hold on to the negative energy, we keep bringing that energy towards us, right? Not understanding the importance of putting up boundaries and not allowing toxic energy into our lives, knowing that even with the ones we love, we have to do this sometimes. When we don't do that, when we don't understand about boundaries, when we don't understand about reaching for the positive thought and looking for the blessings in our life, we aren't able to understand the lessons. We aren't able to evolve. We stay in this place of fear, sadness, and we don't change. We allow that energy to feed off of us, that negative energy. It makes us physically, emotionally, spiritually sick. And we're that little black rain cloud that comes into people's lives. Sometimes people feel sorry for us, but they really don't want us around. When we come into the room, it's like a sweep of negative energy. It's like sucks the life out of the room. We all know people like that, right? But it's changes that we go through, challenges that we go through that I just spoke about. Some of them are life challenges that we will always struggle with. Always. We all have them. And when we have to work through things, it hurts us. It's painful. It's painful to set boundaries. It's painful to separate ourselves from people that we love. Remember? The leaves, they're changing, they're falling away, and they're blowing away, and soon they'll be gone, and it's sad. Sometimes we know those ones will never be back in our lives again. Our life is completely gone in a different direction. And that hurts. But when we resist the changes that are in our highest good, we bring that pain on ourselves. We bring this sadness. We cloak ourselves in this gloom and doom. We get to the place where we're so comfortable being sad or depressed or negative that even when some good news comes, we fear it. I've been broken before. I've been hurt before. I've been lied to. I had a client yesterday that called in. It was actually like a voice text on my psychic hotline. Someone I've dealt with for quite a while, and this person has absolutely zero trust in all men. Clearly, they've been hurt in the past, and everything was, I don't trust him. I saw that the person that she spoke about actually, whether the person did things wrong or not, actually was genuinely sorry for what they had done and wanted to work things out and was actually a decent person. But this person could not see past. And she said, I told him he's a piece of shit. I don't trust him. I went through his phone and I found that he had phone numbers from other people. And I said, you can't control who calls someone else. And I've got my phone downloaded all the people on my Facebook. I don't even know those people, but they're in my phone. Do you know how long it would take me to sit there and get them all off my phone? But this person doesn't trust anyone. And I said, you shouldn't be snooping through his phone. When you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. Well, I'm glad I did, because then I found out that he's still allowing other past loves to speak to him, and I don't trust him. And I said, then it's something that you need to look at. You need to work on your fear. Because if you don't trust this relationship, well, you know what? He's not even good looking. He's not good looking, and he's a liar, and he's a piece of shit. And I said, then why do you care? Why don't you remove yourself from it? If this person is a liar, you're not attracted to them, why are you going there? Because this is somebody that's in a cycle. They're used to that behavior. They don't know how to create boundaries for themselves. They don't know that they should reach for more. I have tried to open my heart. I said, you need to open your heart to the universe, right? You can't shut your heart down because people have lied to you and let you down. When you see that energy coming, you walk away. You don't allow that energy. You have to create strong boundaries for yourself, because once you're vibrating from a negative energy, you're going to vibrate and draw to you that energy. And you actually are in a cycle of choosing those people. Your body is trying to constantly fix it, but you don't understand that you don't jump into a mud puddle to clean yourself and others up. You jump out of the mud puddle. And it's going to take a little while to lose that toxic energy around you and vibrate you towards more positive experiences and people. So when you see that energy, you get signs of that, you say right away, this isn't good for me. I'm pulling away. But if you're an empathic person, your greatest addiction is seeking you out. What is that? To allow it back in, to forgive, to see the best. That is actually an addiction. It's a good thing, but it's an addiction. Person couldn't see it. He's a piece of shit. And I don't trust men. All men are that way. And I said, not all men. I've got friends that are very decent, very trusting, very honorable. Most men are that way. I said, if you put that energy out there, that's what you're going to see, and that's what you're going to draw. But it didn't matter what I said. The person was in this space. And the words that she used were very, very toxic about all men in general. They're infantile, useless, and whatever it was. And I thought, well, as long as you hold that energy, you're going to be that energy, you're going to vibrate that energy, and you're going to draw that only to you. Why would you draw towards you someone with a positive energy if you are choosing to saturate yourself in negativity? Right? We get to choose. It takes a while. So at this time, you have to understand that You don't have to struggle. You don't have to make life tougher than it needs to be. Don't resist what's fearful, allowing you someone to come near, opening your heart. Don't resist that. You're not ever going to get what you want. You're just going to keep yourself in that sad, stuck place of never having what you want. And then when you get good news, you're going to be frightened of it. When you get a sign that this is coming, you're going to think, oh God, I don't want it to be that. I don't want that to happen. Oh my God, and what if this happens again? Okay, why don't you just set your future up for disaster? Because what you think about, you bring about. So your energy and your thoughts are the most toxic thing in your life. Your own thoughts, not even what's going on the outside. It's your own ruminating about it, talking about it. Stop talking about it. You keep talking about it and you keep it alive. And when bad things happen, then you get even angrier and you put that cloak back on you. Now you're going to get a coat and mittens and a hat and boots and everything in that color. You're set. You're going to keep yourself set there. And then when other people have something that you don't want, you're angry with them. They don't do it. Why? I deserve it. I've been through all of this. I've done all of this. Why isn't it here for me? That's one thing, at least, for me. You know, when I watch my clients come together with the ones that they've been struggling with, I'm so grateful for that. I'm happy for them because it gives me hope. And that's what I said this morning. When I see little things happening, it gives me hope that the rest is going to come too. If it happened for you, it can happen for me. Yes, it can. Anything can happen. So we are the ones that show us what's going to happen. What we think about, what we're feeling, we're vibrating. So think about what you're talking about. Think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you're hoping for or what you're fearing. That is what you're creating. Spirit says right now, you've stayed away long enough. You've hidden away from your pain and your challenges, but it's time to come out now. And as I say that, a seagull flies by. A seagull talks about freedom. You want freedom in your life. You will never have freedom. You will never be free of the sadness until you allow yourself to face what frightens you the most. Song right now. I know I'll make it out alive if I quit calling you my lover. You watch me bleed until I can't breathe. You watch me fall to my knees. And now I'm without your kisses and I'll be needing stitches. Now think about that. This could reply to a person. This could reply to friendship. This could reply to drugs. Right? One you're breaking free from. You, alcohol. You, heroin. You, whatever it is, prescription pills. You, gambling. You, addictive spending. Gossip. You made me fall to my knees. And now without it, I'll be needing stitches. It's hard to break away from it, but you can stitch it up. You can mend, do that very delicate repair work and keep something beautiful intact, right? Or you can allow it to rust right through and fall apart and be completely broken. Whether that be a friendship, whether that be a love, whether that be your own self. But right now, somebody knows this situation. I need to remove myself from it. What is your lover? Your lover can be anything that you are bound to. Anything that you're committed to. It could be a job. It can be your own negative thinking. It can be any of those things. It can be a love. It can be a friendship. It can be a family member. But it's toxic and it's hurting you. But because you are in this pattern, you're so used to this that you stay. That's why abusers stay in abusive relationships. They know it. They're afraid of what's out there. Even though what they have is so hurtful and awful, they at least know how to cope with it. They've been coping with it their whole lives. But do you want to stay cloaked in sickness, in that mucus? Or do you want to bring something positive in? Because this message says, after sadness, happiness and hope return. But you need to reach for it. You've hidden away long enough. You've fallen to your knees. You've been hurt anyway, right? You've been hurt anyway. You've not been able to avoid it. So now, you need to have hope, because this is a message of happiness coming back. But it requires you to be courageous and reach for it. You need to reach out and accept that shit happens to all of us. We all have cycles. We all have lessons. We all have sadness. You've gotten to the place where you're so used to this. You're hanging out there. You just hang out in that gloomy, dark, pessimistic place. But just like what we saw, it's time to cut through the fog. You get to do that. Look, there's not a freaking cloud in the sky. Just a little one over there. And all it takes is the divine masculine to come out. The divine masculine, the sun. The divine masculine, which is your forward movement, your strength, your courage. All it takes is that to come out, to break through that fog. So now's the time to make the change and get away from the self-pity. Allow all of these messages to show you your way out. What do we do? What would love say? What would love do? For yourself as well as others. That's your path. That's your true north. That's how you follow the light, to burst through the clouds. You need to get out. You need to be more social. I've done it. I retreated for a long time, and it took a lot for me to go out. It was really hard. I've made myself face my fear. I went by myself into an open-air bar where they played music, and when everyone was there with friends, all drinking and dancing, and I went into that place by myself with no alcohol, just water. I broke that barrier. And by doing so, I was gifted by seeing my twin. He was there. It wasn't a great meeting, but it was something that was necessary, and it was beautiful. It was a gift. So you've got to break through. You've got to get out and be a little bit more social. You can always go back to this warm covering. Look what I'm wearing today. I love this. This sweatshirt. This has got a message on it. I'll have to read it to you. It's a quote. And my snuggly leggings. And look at my ugly but absolute favorite Morel slippers. They're Sherpa lined. I got them in Wisconsin. These are like $75 shoes. And I got them at the Goodwill when I was there with my Uncle Phil for like $12. Somebody mismarked them. But it's like, they're ugly. I said to Alexa this morning, in memorandum of your hippie mom, I got my ugly snugglies on. Warm, right? And look at the color this is. Isn't that funny? But along with this green, this is forest green. It's got bright baby blue, happiness, right? And it's got purple for spirituality. So you can go back into your snuggly warm. If you may like that color, khaki green, right? Camouflage color. You can go back into that place of comfort and solace. But for right now, Spirit says you got to come out a little bit. You've got to let go of the fear of being seen by others. You can return to your place of safety, but you need to embrace the hope. That's the whole message here, because hope's coming for you. And Spirit wants you to let go of the sadness and gloom and play. That's a beautiful message. I love that. I love that message. That speaks to a lot of people that wrote to me this morning. It really does. So now we're going to go to my beautiful, peaceful, natural, happy Buddha. For anyone who chose that, which would definitely be me. Oh, he gets the Faerytale Oracle. That's strange, because I wouldn't normally have wanted that. Oh, before we go there, let's do our little private message, our personal, these little ones, right? We're going to do this message. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Oh, it's that one. Oops, those two. Okay. And it's very appropriate, because look, be grateful for what you have and more will come, right? Focus on what you have to be grateful for. There is something that you have to be grateful for. And allow yourself to heal. And how do you allow yourself to heal? What heals? Love heals. Love heals bullies. Love heals angry people. Love heals sadness. Love heals fear. Love heals sickness. Love heals everything. So speak lovingly to yourself and to others and about others, because whatever we say, our body hears. Doesn't matter who you say it about, your body just hears those words. So make them loving. You can kill a plant by saying negative things to it, or you can love a plant. Yesterday, I found that little branch of plumeria, and somebody said to me, it's going to need to be given root powder in order to propagate. And I said, I know that that's generally the case. I do. But there might be a possibility that I could grow it. So I put it in the ground over here, my little plumeria, and I thought, you know what? You never know. It's got a very powerful crystal right next to it. And if I love it and I say I love you and I want you to grow strong, I will baby you and take care of you and protect you. Maybe it will grow. I would love to have this one come back. I don't know if there's anything that can be done. Sometimes they can't, right? It's been trying to hold on, but my landlord did a real number on it. So, I don't know. I'm going to ask that it hold on and that it grow. So we'll see. Right? Sometimes we can't save other people. We can't save other people, period. We can ask for them to be loved and for love to go there. But sometimes a friendship can't be saved. Sometimes they are the leaves that blow away. But for you, be grateful for what was and for what will come. And be grateful for what is, and more will come. Allow yourself to heal. I like that. All right, for those who chose my beautiful, peaceful Buddha, of course I did. I have. I always will. We go to the Faerytale Oracle. Oh, look at every time I think about him, he's the helicopter. Isn't that interesting? He's the dragonfly and he's the helicopter. To the rescue. They can go places that big planes can't go. They're the rescue operation, right? Okay, correct for neutrality on all levels. What is the most appropriate, most helpful message that can be given to the most amount of people who chose the peaceful, natural, happy Buddha? 2 more. I love it when I hear, in my head. I love it. I've learned to tune in and listen to it. At 46 minutes and 42 seconds, the poisoned apple, jealousy. Oh, that sucks. So we know the story of the poisoned apple in Snow White. The number 6 is about the material world. Being too focused on the material world. Don't be so focused on the material world. Keep your thoughts elevated to spirit. And everything that you are requiring will be added to you. Now, this is a different message than Snow White, I think. This one is afraid of something. Are you afraid of being poisoned? Said the old woman. Look, I'm cutting the apple in half. You can eat the red cheek and I'll eat the white. But the apple had been made so that only the cheek was poisoned, so she knew what she was doing. When somebody tries to hurt us, when their intention is to hurt us, they're not going to make it obvious, right? They're clearly not going to point it out to you because you would avoid it. They plan about it, they plot about it, they camouflage things, right? And so here we see Snow White and this poisoned apple. Green, sick, jealousy. This looks like puzzle pieces. Interesting. It's all around here, and yet it's on her as well. So the apple, it's the symbol of wisdom and knowledge. It's also, you think about in the Garden of Eden, they were shown as an apple. Although I think in all reality what it was a pomegranate. But it's a symbol of knowledge. It's a symbol of feminine power. And it's holding poison at this time. So it's showing you that an apple, which is something, that's what I ate for breakfast yesterday. It's what I had last night for my snack, an apple. It's, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's supposed to be something that's good for us, right? It's supposed to be nourishing to us. So using this at this time, this symbol, there's something that is supposed to be nourishing that actually has been tainted. And it can destroy us. It's poisonous. And this old woman, gray-headedness is a sign of wisdom, right? This should be somebody that can teach a lesson, has knowledge, someone that should be able to help us. And yet, the wisdom that comes from someone like that is false. sometimes it's people who, oh, hello, beauty. It's people that have grown older, but they've grown bitter and angry. They've never learned their lessons. They've had their lessons, but they chose to stay cloaked in that sick, olive green, puke, mucus, sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, jealousy. They've held on to it their whole lives. Now they're bitter and angry and mean. So right now, when they give you knowledge, their knowledge, advice, clearly it's coming from a tainted source, right? To them, that's how they see the world. You see this person, who they are and how they live their life. So what they have to say to you is not going to be advice that you want to take, or knowledge that you want to take in or follow. Anything they have to say, they are looking at life through that lens, through those eyes. So when you get a message like this, you have to question the reason someone is bitter, why these lessons have come, why what seems to be a gift that somebody is giving you is actually designed to hurt you. This is a time when you need to use your own wisdom, your own cunning, your own knowledge. Because this one is using cunning and deception and manipulation, and they're artificial in order to take advantage of your good-heartedness or of others. Remember yesterday? Oh, I've got this little casita, it's adorable. I'm letting it go because my son, I lost my son, my 27-year-old boy, and it was his, and the sadness is so great that I can't bear to look upon it. And so I'm allowing it to go so that I can allow someone else to have the benefit of it and take away my pain. That person was lying. That was a person who was pleading on somebody's good nature and trying to rip them off. So know that there's somebody who is not your friend. They want you to think that they are. They don't want you to be on guard. They don't want you to have your back up. They don't want you to be careful. They're trying to find a way to approach you, a right way. They're trying to worm their way back in. Their intention is to fuck you over. I'm sorry to give this message, but it's a fact. They're showing the evil queen, the wicked stepmother. She wants to suck the energy out of this beautiful young daughter. It's not her daughter, it's her stepchild. She doesn't love this one. She doesn't care about this one. This is a narcissistic person. They come to you. Remember, your greatest addiction is seeking you out. This is very much like the narcissistic fairy, the one who is like the Venus flytrap. It's a natural plant. It can be very beautiful, but it devours. And as I said that, our victory sparrow went up into his little home. He's out in the sun,